Hello, I'm Jashykins, and welcome to another little vlog review. This time of the Scorpion pilot episode. Now, I was actually going to skip out on watching this just because I'm watching a lot of other shows, and Scorpion and How to Get Away with Murder come on around near the same time, so I was like, shouldn't I? And then the Terminator fan website I work for, look in the description on YouTube and on my blog. The owner was like, yeah, we want you to do a review of the Scorpion pilot episode because Robert Patrick is in it. I was like, okay, yeah, I'm going to do it. Thanks for giving me the excuse. I need that little push. And what did I think of the show itself? I will admit it does have some unrealistic moments, shall we say. Like at the end when the whole plane and the Ferrari below it, and then plugging into the laptop, and it was like that. But it was so fun, and I found myself just like pushed back in my seat, just like caring about what happens. And that for me is what makes or breaks any form of fiction. Am I entertained? If the answer is no, then no. Do I think that media should be deep, insightful, and realistic? Yeah. But then you also have to say, am I entertained? I'm entertained by movies like Sharknado 1 or 2. I like The Room. It's fucking awesome. Tommy Wiseau, if you haven't seen it, just fucking check it out. It's just the most hilarious shit ever. And yet I also like movies like Inception and 2001: A Space Odyssey, the latter being my favorite movie of all time. So, and when I saw the promos for Scorpion, I don't know how people thought, oh, this is going to be something deep and realistic. I was like, this is just going to be some popcorn entertainment. So I went into the show with the mindset, this is going to be entertainment. And it was. And all of the nerds out there that are the technical geniuses go through certain points of why or why not, because I myself am not real technical. But there were points like that plane thing, and then, oh, isn't it just so convenient that the guy who, I think Toby, was bringing back the hardware thingy, sorry, and it just happens to be scrambled and unusable because of magnets. And someone on IMDb, I believe, pointed out why that wouldn't work. But from a plot point, it was too early in the episode. And besides destroying, the easy way out, it also left us with like a bit of mystery until that one point of what would happen. We were thinking, yay, but what if something goes wrong? And it being in a car, it being lost in a crash or something, would not have provided that. And what if they chose the wrong one? But of course, the nerds out there, I think a few will be going, well, there was no wrong one or something. As I said, technical stuff, but it is entertaining. So if you're looking for an entertaining show, this is it. As for Robert Patrick, which I mentioned in the beginning of this vlog, he was good. I loved him. I loved him in Last Resort, which you really should check out. It's a nice show, and he does a good performance that too. Of course, I love him from Terminator 2 Judgment Day, and whenever I see him, I'm like, oh my god, that's the T-1000! And he does good. He's this in charge of this one group, and he and Walter had something of a past together. No, not romantic, but Walter ended up causing deaths of people, and Walter still holds that guilt, and so there's a grudge between the two. And Patrick's character, it's sort of complicated. It's not necessarily all good or bad. He's sort of something of a mix, and I can't wait until future episodes till he's more fleshed out, because he has this sort of, I have morals, I have things I won't cross, but they're very different from what you and I would consider normal. It's like lives on a plane. He says like, yeah, fuck it, it won't work. And I think that's a really cool logic, but he is in a position where as use that he's going, anything we do won't help this. And then once a way to help has been found out, he, helps them. So he's complicated. And I can't wait to see more of my Robert Patrick. The article I wrote for the Terminator fans, like, I couldn't, fangirl like this. I could go, oh my god! Because, there I have to try to be even more professional than I'm not fucking professional here. And finally, some people were mad because this is based on true events. Now, let me tell you what you can do with that catchphrase. Ignore it. I saw based on true events, I'm like, yeah, I don't really know what events they're talking about, but they're probably going to, probably going to bastardize it anyways. And so I don't really concentrate on that, because it's based on true events. Okay, I'm a horror fan, so I'm used to seeing movies go based on true events, like the Amityville Horror. That's a fake. It's based on true events that people made up. So sorry, I'm a little jaded with that phrase. So just ignore that phrase for the future. Just push it out. It does not exist. And yeah, and if you ignore the based on true events, if you can, then it'll be even more enjoyable. If not, you'll just be going, what's real and what's not? And you can probably look the events up yourself if you like. I haven't, probably won't, so I can't tell you anything useful about searching. Anyways, I have been Jashykins, owner at jashykins.blogspot.com, and my final thoughts of the Scorpion pilot episode, very entertaining, and I would love to see more of this. As I said, you just look for it for the fun, expect flaws, and I know all of us have our different levels of suspension of disbelief. And if you can't suspend your disbelief, it's fine. It's fine. We all have our different levels. The last show I watched before Scorpion was Z Nation, which is even more of a suspension of disbelief. So this was refreshing to me. My problem is I've seen worse. And once you've seen worse, it's everything else is nice and sunny. And if you go to my blog on the sidebar thingy, you can see where else I am on the web and say hi. And if you're watching this on YouTube, go down into the description and you can see a link to donate your account. And if you donate your Twitter and or Facebook accounts, thank you very much. That'll help you spread my good word. And until next video, goodbye.